there this morning and say, I have back fat that I hate, and my boobs aren't big enough. Well, there's a way to fix that. We have Dr. Erin Barson here from Surface Medical Spas, and Brandy, who is a patient. Glad you both are here.
Thank you.
Okay, so you can actually take fat from somewhere in the body and then put it in the breasts and make your breasts bigger without doing, you know, implants or anything like that.
Yes, the interesting thing is the two most common cosmetic procedures in the world are actually liposuction and breast augmentation. And this is kind of like a 2-for-1. It's where you do them both at the same time. The advantage really is that when you're using your own body fat, number one, it doesn't have to be replaced in 10 or 20 years. It doesn't have any of the attendant problems you have with breast implants, bag-type implants. The feel and the look is just totally natural because it is natural. Most breast tissue is actually fat. So the difference between a woman with really large breasts and small breasts is really how much fat they contain.
Can you put the fat where you want it exactly?
Yes. That's one of the other things we can do is we can actually shape breasts. An implant and how well that works depends on the pocket that is made, which is like a pocket in your pants, sort of, and then the bag has to be put into that. So making the pocket and the size, the shape of the implant and how that fits in the pocket determines what kind of a job you're going to have done.
Well, Brandy, you had some work done, and tell us a little bit about how it was for you. Is there a lot of downtime? Because I think a lot of women are afraid of that.
Well, there's not as much as I thought there would be. I was out of work for about 2 or 3 days. Went back. Yeah,
wow.
it you know, sore for about a week, maybe a little bit more than that, but I mean, there was hardly any downtime at all.
What did you do?
I did a fat transfer from my thighs to my breast.
Okay, wait a second. I'm looking at you and I'm thinking, where did you find the fat to transfer? I mean, really, you look, it's not necessarily overweight. I mean, there just could be some areas of your body that just you want to tweak a little bit, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Why did you make the decision to do it? What was your thought process? Had you been thinking about it for a while?
Yes, yes. Growing up, I was always just, somewhat of a thin girl, never really, had much shape to me. So I was looking into implants for a long time, but I just never, liked the idea of them putting something so foreign in my body, just, having that bag in me. So I just, found Dr. Barson and decided to go with the more natural way. So, it's tumescent anesthesia. You're not actually put out, you're still awake, and it was less invasive, so it just sounded really good.
We were looking at before and after pictures. I don't believe those were of you, but another patient that you had a second ago. How can you shape it? How does it look once you move it? Does the fat know it's been moved?
No.
No, really?
The fat doesn't know.
Isn't that cool?
Does it think it's still in your thigh? But it stays there, though. And,
yes.
And I think you were saying, you were telling our producer that if you gain weight, you gain weight in fat. So now it's not from your thigh anymore. Where it's gone, you'll gain weight here.
Yes. Now, Brandy's a good example. She's very athletic. She's very thin. But even thin women know where they've got a problem. Even thin women usually have some fatty deposits, sometimes kind of lateral thigh under their bottom and things like that. But once you identify that, then you can, put it pretty much wherever you want. And the thing is fat, you see, people think, well, you put it in, what if it mooshes over to another place? Right. Well, no, you can't do that because fat is a tissue. It's not water. And so tissue can't go through tissue.
So
does that make sense?
Yeah, and so it can't
stays.
move. It's more solid than it is liquid. Quick question for you. You do other procedures at your Surface Medical Spas. What else do you do?
Well, we do a lot of smart liposuction. What that is it's a different way of doing liposuction that's less invasive, less downtime, bruising, pain, swelling, all of those things. And we almost always get a smoother result. About 1/3 of what we do is redos of other people's lipo because traditional lipo is done totally laying down, and everybody looks good laying down.
Oh, gotcha. It's when you stand up and gravity goes to work.
But if you're asleep, of course, you can't stand up. But when you stand up, that's when you see the irregularities that you will eventually see later if you had it done lying down. And so you're able to take care of them right then. The fine-tuning is done on site.
That's wonderful. All right, if you think you need to be tweaked, then you can go to our website and find out all the information for Surface Medical Spas. They are in Park City, and they're easy to call and ask all the questions you want, and you can go to their website too. Thank you so much, Dr. Barson and Brandy, for being here today.
Feel great.
you. Thanks.
All right, everybody, coming up in the kitchen next, we are making an Italian bread stuffed with sausage and all sorts of other savory deliciousness. We'll be right back. And still ahead on Good Things Utah, handy girl tips from your makeup bag for money-saving home repairs. And coming up later on Good Things Utah, journal good times with the kids, Amber Packer's Lucky Stars design, and discover some great discounts too.